I've got a massive warning for you when we're looking at HBAR and Gala token. And the reason for that, guys, is this is HBAR. In the last few weeks, we've seen HBAR going up 129%. In the same period of time, you've seen Gala going up at one point to over 200%. And that's amazing. And if you've made some good money and taken it off the table in that time, then congratulations. Now, I'm going to tell you something very alarming that's happening in the market right now. And I think those who've invested in Gala and HBAR stand to be in a very dangerous situation unless they are very cautious about how they act right now. Wyckoff accumulation. Okay, Wyckoff was this guy in the early 20th century who basically went into the American stock market and understood that the big banks were playing games even back then, and they're still doing it now. The aim of the game for them is to manipulate yours and my emotions in order for them to be able to buy at the cheapest prices and to be able to sell at the very highest. And what they do is they basically play a game and they have this accumulation. And you can see this over and over again. This is at the bottom of the market, but you also get at the top of the market. And this is Bitcoin, guys. And the reason Bitcoin's essential to this, even though we're talking about Gala and HBAR, is because Bitcoin's been rallying. Gala and HBAR have been doing the same. So if we look into the Wyckoff of where Bitcoin's likely to go, we can understand a bit more about what HBAR and Gala have done. Bitcoin, for reference, pushed about 40% or just over, is currently sat 29% up. And what we can see right now is that Bitcoin is suggesting that we are about to enter into a bit of a shorter term bear market where we will then push back down to this area. Notably, this area sits below the previous low, which will mean that Bitcoin will reach a low around $14,400. It needs to trigger everyone who's in long positions from here out of the market into shorts. And then from then, we're likely to see a push into the bull market. Now, the reason that we might well see this starting to tail off is because tomorrow we've got the CPI, or the core inflation results for the US. If inflation is still high, that means interest rates will have to go up. And if you're wondering why that's important, well, interest rates have been going up, which have forced the US dollar up. At the same time, the US dollar going up pushes crypto down. So this is insanely important. So you're wondering, why does it matter to HBAR and Gala if Bitcoin falls towards the downside? Well, because HBAR and Gala have been very, very hyped up in the last few weeks, and they are both fantastic projects. I do foresee them having an amazing run this year and into next year. What I'm giving you an air of caution about is that both HBAR and Gala, because they've been so hyped up, have been bought by a lot of people who aren't really sure of how crypto markets work. So what that means is people who've been buying in this area up here will, if this happens to HBAR and Gala, will start to panic. Because people who've only ever entered into crypto in the last few weeks and have just enjoyed green days all the time, they don't really know how to react when suddenly they see something like this take place. Now, if that does take place, well, guys, I've got news for you, how you can make this very easy. And I'm going to tell you, I don't think it really matters if that does happen. If anything, it's a good thing because it gives us another chance to buy in lower. And how do we make ourselves just react nice and calmly if it does happen? Well, we can set a box, this is for HBAR, and we could anticipate by writing the word buy in here, that if we get into this zone, that we are nice and calm, right click and set an alert on HBAR, and this will notify me when HBAR hits this level. If HBAR hits this level, and if that happens, then I've got an opportunity to be calm and buy when everyone else is panic selling. You want to do what the opposite of everyone else is doing. Now, right now, I'm seeing kind of like bull market mentality, where I've seen in my Telegram group, which is linked down below in the description, by the way, people saying that they've been buying the market here and will it continue going up? That's kind of like bull market mentality, and that is a very dangerous thing to do, okay? Do not buy these big pumps. We want to wait for a pullback. We might not get a pullback to here, but we need to wait and see what's really going to happen in Bitcoin, because Bitcoin will control ultimately the rest of the crypto market. But if we do see a pushback here for Gala, then good news, guys, we get a better opportunity to go higher. Now, if this does play out, and it's obviously an if, it doesn't necessarily have to be guaranteed, but if we are looking back into this area, then we know that we will be getting the bottom. If that Wyckoff does play out and we do actually get those results, then even better, because we know exactly where the market's going to head in the future. But from current prices to the all-time high, you're looking at HBAR going 578%, something like that, yeah. But if it actually gets back down into this zone, then an HBAR up towards the top, you're going to get like a 19x. So instead of just a 5x, you're going to get a 19x, which is obviously great news. And it might be something that scares people. But this is HBAR before. And look at what happens. You know, we get these kind of like bull markets coming in like this. You get kind of like fake rallies all the time. People thinking that it's going to come, and then suddenly, bang, and then you're in it, right? According to this Wyckoff distribution, this spring area would be kind of in towards the end of March, in towards April, and then we'd be looking to bounce out. This would be something like into May, June time, which gives us a nice opportunity. Here we can see that would be a nice double bottom, and then from there, Bitcoin, 100k plus, who even knows? And if we look into Gala, we can do a similar thing, right? We can put our nice box down here. If you're buying on spot, like just 1 for 1, doesn't really matter. You can kind of be a bit more flexible with the prices you're prepared to pay. Because 10-20% down here does make a little bit of a difference. But really, in the future, you're not going to be that upset when you bought here, when maybe you could have bought here. Because if Gala does return to all-time highs, then you'll be up a 17x on current prices. But again, if it dips back into this box and you get an opportunity to buy, then you're looking at a 39x. Back to all-time highs, but potentially way beyond. I do think that the coins that have rallied more recently have the opportunity to rally again, but maybe, just maybe, we're about to get an opportunity to buy things much cheaper. It all hangs in the balance on what happens tomorrow night with those inflation results from the Federal Reserve. And if you want to know exactly when that's happening and you want to find out exactly how it's going to affect us, we'll get into my Telegram group, link down below, absolutely free. People are discussing it in there all the time, different tokens they're buying and all sorts of information. If you enjoyed today's video, then hit the thumbs up button for me. If you're new to crypto and you want to learn more, then hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the very next video. Bye-bye.